we have two excited young fans of Captain Marvel, starting with Zoe and Alyssa. So I'll start off with Zoe. Tell me your initial reaction to this movie. When you stepped out of the theater, how did you feel?
I felt like so freaking explained. Like I was so happy that like they explained basically everything. Like, but there's more questions now. Like what is gonna happen to that cat and what is gonna happen to everything. It's just awesome. I loved it.
Okay, and yourself, Alyssa?
I was so confused about everything. Okay, so this is happening at this time, and then it fast forwards to this time, and it just talks about so many things at once. It's so confusing, but it was amazing.
It was amazing.
Did it make sense in the end though?
Yeah.
It did. Okay.
They explained a lot of like answers to some of the questions that I had about like Marvel and adventures, and it was so cool.
Okay, so this movie obviously comes out on International Women's Day, okay? So did you find her maybe inspirational, or was it refreshing to have a female-led Marvel movie?
Heck yeah, like like she was awesome, like she persevered through everything, and it was so amazing.
It was kind of nice to have a girl playing as a super strong character, because most of the time it's a lot of like guys like Superman and stuff. But so it's just kind of nice to have a girl doing it, because then it just shows like a bunch of different things about it. It's super cool.
Have you guys seen Wonder Woman?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
So which one is better, Wonder Woman or Captain Marvel?
Captain Marvel.
I can't
right
choose.
Now. I believe
can't
Captain
choose.
Marvel, but like Wonder Woman. Wow.
Yeah,
I can't.
maybe give them a day to let it settle in, right? This is
Settle.
yeah, it's too soon. Okay.
You have to think about
Yeah.
So you have 2 hours to watch the movie, and then you have to take 1 hour just to think of everything.
Yeah.
Yes, gotta take it in.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So have you girls seen a lot of Marvel movies?
Yes.
Yes.
A lot.
A lot.
Okay. How would this movie rank for you among all of those other ones?
This is my favorite. This is my favorite.
Not my favorite, but there's too many. There's too many.
I like how like it explains like questions, like it explains my answers to my questions, which was really cool. That's what I really liked about this movie.
I can't decide. There's too many movies to decide from.
Yeah.
There's so many good movies.
Yeah. No, I was just gonna say that Avengers makes more sense now, huh? Now that you've seen this,
Yeah.
are you looking forward to Avengers Endgame?
Yes.
Yeah.
It is amazing.
It's gonna be.
I want to see the cat come in and eat Thanos, and that'd be the best ending ever. Just cat
I
come
never
in.
thought of that, but that would be.
Yeah.
Demogorgon coming in and eating.
Because he kind of looks like a Demogorgon on the inside. Yes. But on the outside, he's nice and furry. Cute.
cut his face.
Yeah.
Okay, so the last question we have for you girls is, on our show, what we do is we rate movies on a scale of 1 to 5. And because we are the real screeners, we do them in movie reels, okay? So how many movie reels, we'll start off with Zoe, would you give this movie from a scale of 1 to 5?
4.
4?
Yeah.
Okay.
4.5.
4.5.
Yes.
Okay. That's really close to our ratings. We won't tell you specifically because we want you girls to come watch our review on YouTube, okay? Okay. Well, thank you girls so much for being with the Real Screeners. We hope to see you guys again at the Alamo Drafthouse, okay?
Okay.
All right. Have a nice evening.
You too.
Have a good night. Thank you so much.
Bye.
You guys did an awesome job.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Right now, we have a beautiful family with us, and an excited family I can see from the looks on your faces. Let's start off with young Luna here. Luna, can you tell me what you thought about the movie?
I thought that it was like a cat who was a pushing cat. They was gonna save the world like a magic wand with a magic wand.
I know that cat was really interesting, right? Like, it seemed like just any other cat, and then suddenly, we're not going to give any spoilers, but it was interesting, right?
Yes, he was. He was so interesting.
What did you think of Captain Marvel? I mean, is that maybe someone you might look up to?
I thought Captain Marvel had the wings.
That she has rings? That she has powerful fists too, doesn't she?
Yes, he does, and I thought that she also has a lot of marbles because he has a marvel in her name.
I know, she's like one of the biggest heroes you've ever seen, huh?
Yes.
All right. So let's go ahead and switch over to Sasha. Sasha, tell me your general thoughts on the movie.
It was pretty cool, and I thought something that Thanos would come out in just like a second. I thought Thanos would come out and he would just say hello to Captain Marvel and then do like introduce him to her.
Maybe kind of give her a high five, maybe.
Yeah, like for because then the next movie, Endgame, I think they're gonna have like a face on like them.
I know, right? Do you think she could take on someone as powerful as Thanos?
Yes, I think she's powerful as Thanos.
I know, she was incredible, right?
Yes.
Okay, was there maybe a favorite part of the movie for you?
My favorite part is when there's like a bunch of spaceships coming and she destroyed them all.
I know, like with a flick of her wrist, right?
Yes.
Yeah, she's totally awesome. She's like a new player on the block, and we can't wait to see her in Endgame, huh?
Yeah.
All right. So let's move up to Mommy here. We have Marcy. Marcy, what did you think of this movie? There's a lot of hype around it. Do you think it lived up to the hype?
Yes, I mean the movies really take my breath away in a couple of scenes because there is the power she gets. It's amazing and
Astronomical, right?
yeah, it's really cool. How just by doing yoga,
Right.
something like that,
Exactly,
you get
right? I
all
wish
this.
I could do that when I do
Yeah, like relax and just say I can do this, and it was really amazing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you see it as very empowering for females, this film? Maybe even inspiring for younger people at all?
Yes, we actually were talking that about before the movie, that how important. That's why we want to bring her, because it's a very powerful female character that it's always men and guys saving everything, and now she comes and do these things, and there is a couple of scenes how being just a little girl start to changing
Right.
the way she is.
That's right. It shows her determination, right?
Exactly. How she just stand up and even as a human, I guess, she, in being a little girl, she think I can do this, and she just stand up from when she fall in the bike or things like that.
Right.
Simple things like that. So, as a woman, it's really like amazing, because it's always the guys who save the world.
Right. So definitely a character that young girls can aspire to. Well, maybe not with cosmic powers, but at least her determination and all that kind of stuff. All right. Fantastic. Okay. And we'll end up with Dad here, Lee. Lee, like I asked Marcy over here, a movie with tremendous hype. Let me move over here. Excuse me. Sure. Okay. If you just go over here. All right. Do you think it lived up to the hype for you?
Even surpassed the hype, for sure.
Can we? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
What specifically did you like about the movie?
Well, I liked a lot about it. I'm actually a child of the 80s, so I was in my 20s in the 90s, so the music, blockbuster video, the retro throwback, totally cool.
Okay.
Love
I was a teenager in the 90s, so I totally feel you on that, all the nostalgia and stuff, okay. What about maybe Samuel L. Jackson, right? We talk about him being younger, and do you think that he pulled it off, or do you think it's still kind of the same kind of guy?
Well, I'd like to know what kind of skin cream they gave him during the movie, because, I mean, he looked, definitely 30 years younger.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That de-aging technology was fantastic.
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how would you rank this movie among all the other Marvel movies?
Well, that's the thing. I was expecting it to kind of compare to the others, or maybe I would walk out of the theater thinking that I was going to compare it to maybe Captain America or Thor, but I think it's its own movie. So in that regard, I'm surprised, because I thought it was going to follow the same recipe, and after listening to all the critics and what they had to say, I was expecting like more of the same, but I liked it. It was somewhere in between like Ant-Man and Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay.
So for me, it was a total win.
Right, and it had like tremendous humor, right?
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Okay. So you guys did a tremendous job on this interview with the Real Screeners. Thank you so much for being with us, okay? You guys have a great evening.
Hey, you too. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank
Excellent.
you. Thank you. Nice to meet you, Sasha. All right.
Luna.
You take care. Hopefully your parents will take you about 5 more times, hopefully, to watch the movie.
We are here with Kristen, who just got out of watching Captain Marvel at the Alamo Drafthouse. So how are you doing today, Kristen?
I'm doing good.
Okay. What was your initial reaction to watching this film?
Well, I didn't know what to expect from it. So I really liked that the whole backstory, I guess, of Captain Marvel came out so that I could learn about that. And at the end, with that last clip, it was kind of like, all right, what's next?
Okay.
Yeah.
How would you compare this Marvel film to the other Marvel films that have been released?
Well, I guess what's a lot different, of course, is like that there's a woman in the main character, and so yay, awesome. Yeah. But what was a lot different is, I guess, just the story itself was just built up a little bit different than most Marvel movies. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So obviously there's been a lot of talk about Brie Larson, and of course this is Marvel's first like female-led movie, you know, where you have a strong female in the lead role. What did you think of Brie Larson and her performance as Captain Marvel?
She did a great job. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. So when it was like, okay, this is going to be Captain Marvel, it was like, okay, all right, let's see what goes on. But no, she did a really good job.
She did a good job?
Yeah.
Okay. What did you think of her scenes with Samuel L. Jackson in the film?
It's pretty funny. I like the comedy sense that they throw in there, so it was really great.
Yeah, awesome. And the way that they portrayed Samuel L. Jackson as, you know, a younger Nick Fury, what did you think about like the CGI or the way that they made him look younger?
That was kind of funny to see, actually. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Did you buy into it? Did you believe it? Or
I mean, I understand that we're going back in time, so yeah, I get it, but it was kind of weird to see. Yeah.
So, if you had to pick a scene in the film that stood out to you, what scene would you say, wow, that scene like really like it touched me or it impressed me?
You know, I guess when they're sitting around the table, the dinner table at the end, when they're sitting together and, you know, she's realizing I need to find a home for these people now. So that was kind of like, all right, that whole story, just you weren't expecting it. Yeah, not at all. So when that whole twist turned around and I was like, okay, all right.
Awesome. Did you stay for the end credit scenes? Yeah. Mm-hmm. What did you think?
I had no idea what was going on. I was like, I was kind of like, what's happening? And then she just showed up, and I was like, okay.
Okay. Right. Awesome. So on our YouTube channel, we rate our movies 1 out of 5 reels, and so 5 being the highest rating, 1 being the lowest. How many reels would you give this movie out of 5?
For a Marvel movie, I'm gonna go with 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. Okay. All right. So obviously it's not a 5 for you. So if you had to maybe pick out a weakness in the film or something that you think could have been better done, what would you say?
Oh, I guess it was a lot slower of a movie, and maybe it was because they had to build the backstory for a lot of people that don't know the story of Captain Marvel. So
like the exposition was a little slow at the beginning, the build-up. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Okay. Well, I appreciate. Thank you so much. Okay. Here with me, I have Andrew and Matthew, who just got out of Captain Marvel. So, guys, your initial reaction to Captain Marvel, how did you like it?
It was exciting.
It was exciting?
It was awesome. It was great.
Great. Okay, so how does this movie rank to the other Marvel films? What would you compare it to?
I think I'd compare it to probably, oh man, the second Guardians of the Galaxy maybe.
Okay.
Not quite as good as the first Guardians of the Galaxy, but right up there.
Okay. In what ways does it remind you of Guardians?
Just because mostly it took place in space and you know, dealing with the Kree and the Skrull, and it was pretty cool.
Okay, excellent. Okay, so there's been a lot of talk about Brie Larson in this movie portraying Captain Marvel. So what did you think of her performance as Captain Marvel in the movie?
Did you like her?
Good job?
Yeah. I think so.
You think so? Okay.
I think she did a really good job.
Yeah, portrayed her really well.
Yep.
Okay.
She had me believing it.
Okay. What did you think of the humor in the movie? A lot of the lines seem to deliver some pretty funny, you know, humor. So what did you think of that? Do you think it was well done?
Yes, that was very funny.
It was funny?
Yeah, we were laughing out loud.
Okay. And what about the special effects? How would you rank the special effects?
Oh, a 10.
A 10 definitely?
Marvel set the standard.
Okay.
11.
An 11. All right. Awesome. Okay. So on our YouTube channel, The Real Screeners, we rank or rate our movies 1 out of 5 reels, 5 reels being the highest rating. Out of 5 reels, how many reels would you give this movie?
4.
4. Okay, awesome.
I'd say 4.
4 as well.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Okay, well, we appreciate sharing your reaction. Okay, have a good evening. Have a good night. Nice meeting you.
Thank you.
Nice meeting you. Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Next up, we have Penny. Penny, this movie had so much hype surrounding it. Did it live up to your expectations?
I expected less, honestly, but then it did live up to. It went more to what I expected. So.
So what specifically about it was it that really kind of took off for you on this movie?
I think the effects and the way they played the storyline and how they tied everything together from previous movies.
So this character of Captain Marvel, it's Marvel's first female-led movie. Did you find any inspiration behind this character? I mean, obviously this lands on International Women's Day, so that's kind of the angle they were going for. So how did you react to that?
I thought it was pretty cool because they don't really put females as like something very empowering. So I was happy to see that a woman can do even what more men can do. Sometimes.
Exactly. I mean, she's got this powerful cosmic force, right? I mean, let's take a look at Endgame and Thanos. I mean, how do you think that's going to go down with her?
I feel like it's going to be a pretty good fight. I mean, I don't know. Who knows how they're going to do it, but I feel like it's going to be pretty good to see.
So looking back at the movie, was there maybe one particular scene that really stood out for you?
The cat.
The cat. You don't want to give too much away, but what did you like about the cat?
What he did was kind of funny. Like, what shocked me the most is what I thought he couldn't do.
So have you watched a lot of Marvel movies?
Yeah.
Okay. How would this rank in your ranking of all the Marvel movies you've seen?
From a scale of 1 to 10, I would give it a 9.
Okay. So, but would you say this may be like a top 5 Marvel movie for you, or are you saying like it's within the top 9?
Oh no, I would say it would be a top 5.
Oh, top 5.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say about this movie?
It's really good. I liked how they did it, and it was pretty nice.
Well, on our channel, what we do is we rank our movies on a scale of 1 to 5 movie reels, like 1 being the lowest, 5 being the best. How many movie reels would you give this movie?
5.
5 reels?
Yeah, that would be pretty good.
Okay, excellent. We're so thrilled that you like the movie. Everyone's seeming to really love this, and hopefully we'll see you back at the Alamo Drafthouse for more movies. Okay?
For sure. Thank you.
Thank you. Good job. Great job. Real Screeners back again at the Alamo Drafthouse, and today, guys, we have Aaron with us. Aaron, give us your raw reaction to Captain Marvel.
Well, to begin with, it's what you expect of a Marvel movie. It's what you expect of a big budget movie. You know, you expect action, you expect a good storyline, because I feel like Marvel's been doing better at that. And I felt like I was expecting a lot, especially because it was the first real big female superhero in the Marvel universe to have a film. So I did feel like there were a lot of expectations, and I do think the movie surpassed a lot of those for me personally. It was very empowering at the end. I felt like Nick Fury the young Nick Fury was a very interesting character. I really liked it, and I just felt like it really captured the idea of what a superhero has to be.
All right. Man, you have some good insight into movies. My goodness, you should be on our channel more often.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's talk about Samuel L. Jackson and some of that de-aging technology. What did you think about some of that and maybe some of the special effects in the movie?
I was actually skeptical about it, and I had seen some interviews where he was talking about the whole technology used for him, but I think it really fit him. He does look young, and because of course that's the point of it, but it's like his acting is still like an older person. So even though I felt, he was a younger person, I still saw Samuel L. Jackson behind all of that. So it was kind of hard to sell it for me.
Okay, so speaking of acting, a lot's been said about Brie Larson's talents as an actress. What did you think about her acting in this movie?
I think she was phenomenal. She's gonna give Gal Gadot a run for her money, because now Marvel put their big female superhero in there. She really captured I think the persona of how a strong woman and a strong female. There was no point in the movie where I felt like she was gonna be weak, or where she felt overpowered at all. I'm gonna be honest with you. Even when she was down or anything. And I think it's just her. I don't think it's Captain Marvel. She just brings this aura into the film, and it's like you just know she's gonna be a very strong character throughout all of it.
Okay. So how strong is this movie in general in comparison with other Marvel movies?
Ooh. Okay, that one's gonna be tough for sure, because Marvel has been putting out a lot of good movies lately. I think for me it falls a little bit behind Guardians of the Galaxy because I just love the whole comedy skit behind it, the funny. Yeah, Thor Ragnarok kind of caught me by surprise, and I rate that pretty high, and I think that's just below them. I'm not a big fan of the Avengers. I just think there's too much going on. So I would say I put it between my top 5 so far for Marvel.
So speaking of the number 5, on our show, what we do is we rate our movies on a scale of 1 to 5 movie reels. So out of that range, how many reels would you give Captain Marvel?
I think it's a solid 4.4.
4.4?
Yes.
All right, 4.4. All right. Satisfied customers, guys. Aaron, thank you so much for being on the Real Screener Show, and hopefully we'll see you again at the Alamo Drafthouse.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
We are back at the Alamo Drafthouse to get our audience reactions to Captain Marvel, and I am here with Diego, who just got out of watching the film. So, Diego, what is your initial reaction to the movie? What is your first impression about Captain Marvel? Did you like it, or do you not recommend it?
Well, I like it, and I recommend pretty much anyone who likes any action movies to see it.
Okay.
Okay, and especially if they like comic book movies.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just go and see it and give it a try.
Okay.
Yeah, I liked it.
With this movie, there's been a lot of talk about Brie Larson playing the Captain Marvel role.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of talk about the movie being a lot about female empowerment and having a strong female lead in the role.
Yeah.
What did you think about her performance, and what do you think about the movie and the message about women empowerment?
Well, I think it was a fine performance, and I know there's a lot of comments because of her comments about many things she made on many interviews in the public.
Yeah.
But this is a movie, this is entertainment, so just set aside what you think about her as an actress and just go ahead and see the movie for entertainment purposes. That's it.
Good, excellent. Okay. I'm sure you've seen other Marvel films like The Avengers, Infinity War. Have you?
Yes.
Okay. So how would you compare this movie to the other Marvel films? How would you rank it?
Well, I think the movie's kind of like the middle of all the cinematic universe that Marvel has.
Okay.
But still a good movie. I mean, there's a bunch of good movies. I think all of the Marvel cinematic universes are entertaining movies.
Okay.
Whether they're good or not, I think that's subjective to each one's opinion.
Sure. Okay.
Yes.
Absolutely. Do you think the movie delivered as far as the humor aspect of it?
Yeah, I laughed at a couple of jokes, and actually my girlfriend actually was like, just shut up, because you might disturb a bit other people, but I'm a very loud laugher.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I was trying to contain myself on the movie theater. Yes.
Great. Okay. So on our YouTube channel, we rate our movies 1 to 5 movie reels. We call them reels, right? So out of 5 reels, 5 being the highest rating, 1 being the lowest, how many reels would you give this movie?
Like either between 3.5 and 4.
3.5 and 4.
Yes, I mean 3.5 might sound very low, but I think that's a good rating considering everything about how movie ratings work.
Okay.
Yeah,
So that being said, obviously, it didn't quite hit the highest reel mark. So if you had to pick one weakness about the movie, one thing that didn't work for you, or one thing you didn't like, what would it be?
Well, I think there's a lot of going back and forth. So I don't know if I can talk spoilers too much, but basically the story,
The
flashbacks
about her origin.
Yes,
Okay.
that's what bothered me a little bit, but that's a big issue. The biggest issue I have, but it's not a huge issue, but it's a big issue. Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, well, I really appreciate you giving your reaction. It was great meeting you, and have a good evening, okay?
Thank you.
Okay.
Next up, we have Andrew. So Andrew, go ahead and tell us your general thoughts on Captain Marvel.
I thought it was a great movie. Kind of fits perfect for today. Today's National Women's Day.
Yes.
So that movie, I think, kind of encompasses what how powerful women can be. I don't know too much about her backstory, but just from what I saw in the movie, I think it was a great movie. Can't wait to see her on Avengers. So, yeah.
So you mentioned International Women's Day. What do you think might be, I guess, inspirational for young girls in this movie, without giving too much away?
Oh, I mean, just clearly that she's freaking pretty bad.
Yeah,
you know,
she really is.
she takes down a bunch of aliens and whatnot. So it's pretty awesome.
And then she never gave up, right?
She never gave up, and shows her childhood, never giving up. So yeah, it's great. Yeah.
Okay. So a lot's been talked about as far as Brie Larson as an actress. What did you think about Brie Larson's portrayal of Captain Marvel?
I think it was perfect. Brie Larson, obviously, she's an Oscar winner. She's kind of the unsuspected type girl. You know, you would have expected some, you know, like Ronda Rousey. Her name was thrown out there to be Captain Marvel, but I think she's perfect because she looks just like a regular girl, but very powerful.
And what did you think of Samuel L. Jackson's portrayal here? It's obviously supposed to be a younger guy.
Yeah, I mean, Samuel L. Jackson's great in all the movies, so he obviously looks younger, but Samuel L. Jackson plays a great Nick Fury, so I mean, I think he did great. He plays the same role pretty much in every Avengers movie.
So it seems like overall you really enjoyed this movie. This movie came with tremendous hype. How would you rate this among the other Marvel movies?
I think if I can, from a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being like the best, one not, you know, one obviously not being the best, probably maybe like a 6 or a 7.
Okay.
For the main reason is that I think Captain Marvel doesn't have the big hype as all the other Avenger characters.
Okay.
So I think if they would have built her character up more for everybody to know her, I think it probably would have been more of a 10. So the fact going in, not knowing too much about her, and just knowing what you saw in the movie, kind of like, oh, okay, now that's what she is. So that's my opinion.
Looking forward to seeing her in Endgame?
Yes, absolutely, man. Just to see her power and see how she progresses as an Avenger.
Well, Andrew, thanks for visiting with the Real Screeners, and we're looking forward to hopefully seeing you back here again at the Alamo Drafthouse.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, see you, man.